Welcome everyone. Another market blitz. We got a lot to go over. If you didn't catch I posted trades under YouTube. Took pound Oz last night and had a sell set up in Aussie dollar. So we'll go over them. We'll cover a couple others that we've been pounding on the table, like USD CAD, dollar ZAR. So all the trades that we pretty much been pounding the table on. We'll get started with risk disclaimer. Read it over. And let's go. So we'll dive right into it. I guess we'll cover Aussie because we covered this yesterday and we talked about this potentially being a wave one down, a wave two up, and a possible wave three coming. And we're looking for that potential move down to the 1618 if it's going to kick off this weekly impulse, right? If we go to the other screen with our indicators and we go to the weekly chart, um, right? Could this just be your overbought running into your 89? This could be a complete expanded flat right here on the weekly chart. You got an A, B, C, three-wave structure coming off your 89 overbought, and could this kick off those weekly impulses? The weekly impulse to the downside, right? So when we drop back down to the lower time frame, we had to give this count some weight to it because of where we're at on the higher time frame. Now, there is still the possibility of this being a running flat right here. All right, so now we'll go over this where I had my trade Y and all that. So we'll zoom in, and we went over that we were correcting underneath of this structure yesterday, right? So um we were making a 1 2 3, and I had a sell order right below this impulse, right? And all this action happened overnight. So um I had a sell order in case we were going to drop in the overnight session while I was asleep. I wanted to be in this trade. So I am triggered. I am in this trade, and what am I doing now? I'm giving it room for the running flat to play out right here. All right. So for me, I'm in this trade. My 100 123.6 lines up with tomorrow's pivot. So I really don't want to see a close. I don't want to start closing above this level. All right. So as you can see, I got some alerts set up here. I don't want to start closing above this. I imagine we're going to get some movement tomorrow with the euro rate decision. So we'll see what happens, but I'm still looking for this. I'm looking for a running flat right now on Aussie, and tomorrow's S2 down here. So I'm kind of looking for this on the Australian dollar as of right now. So I am in this trade, and I'm looking like this. I will say this is starting to look more like a B wave than a wave three, though. All right, because this whole thing right here is starting to look corrective. So the other pattern I showed you with the flat correction, there's a good chance that we come right back up for and make a flat correction right here. So because of the way that right, if this is a wave three down, you're kind of expecting this to go. You're expecting this to keep going. All we did was have 1 hourly candle down right here, and you're starting to come back up. Now, it still can be a wave 1 2 and then 1 2 3, right? 1 and 2 in the smaller degree. So uh remove this, and you could still just be in a lower degree 1 and a 2 right here. All right, and then these are your higher degrees. So that is why I'm giving it room, and I want to give it room because of where we're at on the higher time frame, running into the 89 overbought on the weekly chart, right? So are we getting ready to do this? One down, two, and we're getting ready for a 1-2, and then a 3, right? So, um, and that's kind of where we're at. Or are we making this flat pattern right here? So, um, that's what I'm looking at. That's kind of what I'm seeing. These are your two most high probable patterns in Aussie are this, and then this just keeps on dropping down here, right? For that larger degree wave 3 because of our weekly potential expanded flat right here, right? And then this is the weekly move down we'd be looking for. It's kind of where I stand on Aussie. Let's go to CAD. All right, what do we got in CAD? They cut rates. You got the spike up, and this is why I say don't jump into the spike because now you're right back down. So a lot of traders are trapped up here, right? A lot of people, the minute they see that the Bank of Canada cut rates, they're buying that spike because they think it's going nuclear at that point. So a lot of traders are trapped up here. Let's go to the chart with the EMAs. And we'll dive down to the 1 hour chart. And we'll zoom in. All right. So we have daily pivots coming into play here with your 34. I mean, this is where you want to buy and you want to see this level hold. So if you're going to buy CAD and this thing's going to hold, it should do it right here. You got daily pivot support, and usually right here is great support with your 1 hour stack 34. You got your 89, your 200. Now, it's the same thing as Aussie. Pull this structure. All right. If we start coming through this structure and we correct underneath of this structure just like Aussie did, then, and we're in the 1 hour chart right now, right? We start doing this, then we're coming all the way back down to these lows, right? We're coming all the way back down to these lows. All right. And the daily 200 at that point. And they have a lot of traders trapped up here that were just buying the news, right? So we step out to the daily chart, it would just look like this, right? A move down to the daily 200, and now you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 swing sequence, and then you're gone. All right, so that's kind of what I'm looking for. You could take a shot now in the 1 hour chart because you got stacked EMAs. You're coming in to oversold. You got pivot support. You're at a nice area now to look to take a buy, right? Coming in the previous structure, but you want to see this hold. Now, you don't have to dump it if we start coming through this structure, but if we consolidate after the break of this structure, that's when you want to dump it or put a stop below this low, all right, to get out of your position. So, let me clear this off. Like I said, it can, right? The trend line means nothing. This trend line means nothing. You can come through this trend line. You could do this and then go right back up, right? The trend line means nothing. What's important is if it consolidates underneath of that trend line, all right? If it throws you a consolidation underneath that trend line and then right breaks that structure, get out of your buy position at that point. And then now you're going to have a downtrend coming down to your daily 200 at that point. All right, so that is what you're looking for on CAD. Nothing doing on Euro, right? Rate decision, just stay out of that. New Zealand is going up. There's nothing to do though, right? It didn't give us an oversold 4 hour pullback, 1 hour chart. If you wanted to buy a 1 hour 34B, that's what you're getting. This thing does look like it could make a larger correction right here. So it looks like it could give us that and then continue to go up. So I would rather buy like the 1 hour 200 as our 4 hour 34, 4 hours hitting your 34, right? And then if we got a signal that a double bottom off the 1 hour 200, that's kind of what I'd be looking to buy. Till then, I'm not real interested in this. So, right, dollar yen's going back up. We talked about the potential of dollar yen was tagging this 100. And if we go to the 4-hour chart, you're getting a reaction right off of that 100 for this running flat. We going up for that C wave. So, I didn't take any of these trades. So, I just don't like buying yen at these levels, to be honest with you. It's just a personal thing. I just feel like they're going to come out anytime and just start barking noise. And dollar yen's going to just drop, right? It's just going to give you that impulse down like that out of nowhere. So, and even if you have a stop in, you'll probably have slippage and shit. So, to me, I'm kind of only interested in buying yen at this point. And we just haven't had a sell setup. We will have a sell setup if we can make a clear B wave up to here. We also have our quarterly R2 up here. And these other yen pair, right? CAD yen's kind of the same thing. I really like CAD yen to the downside because you have the potential of completing a. I really want CAD yen to just come up here, right? Just come up and break these highs. And we got CAD yen right where we want it. If CAD yen can come break these highs, we got it right where we want it. And we step out to the monthly chart here. We're looking for a big move down, all right, on the monthly. So you come out here to CAD yen. We measure this. You have an impulse down, right? Now we have an A, or you call it a WXY. You're right in between your 100 and your 123.6. So you're looking for a big move down in CAD yen. At minimum, you're looking for something like this, right? Making all this a running flat. So at minimum, you're looking for 1,500 pips down. So that's kind of where we stand on CAD yen. And then at that point, you're coming into this previous structure, right? So you're looking for a push down. And yeah, I mean, this thing's got potential. So CAD yen's got potential to come all the way back down to these lows. I know it seems impossible now, but crazy things happen in the Forex market now. Would we capture this whole move? No, but we would have pieces of it. You know what I mean? All day, and that would be like a year or two downtrend on the monthly chart. So back to 4-hour. That's kind of what we want CAD yen to do. Make a clear B wave back up here. You got your quarterly R2 up here. And from this point, we'll be looking for that. All right. That's pretty much the next move we're looking for in CAD yen. All right. We'll cover pound dollars, right? Because we had a buy on pound dollars 1-hour chart. And the reason that was a good area to buy. Let me go to the chart with the EMAs to show you. And we'll drop down to the 1-hour chart. This was a great buy on. We wanted buys because we had a clear ABC zigzag. And we were coming into our bullish stack down here. And it was right in between our daily pivot and our daily S1, right? So normally right in this zone is a good area. Especially if you got stacked EMAs and you got previous structure right here. So pound dollars was a nice buy, and we're looking for continuation. I wouldn't take the risk off the table yet or move it to break even, but you really, any close below here, then just go ahead and dump it. Daily close, that is, right? We get a daily close below the low of this candle, right? So if we get a daily close below the low of this candle, you shut the trade down for like 0.5% loss. So it's kind of where we're at. Let pound alls run. Again, we're looking for a big move up. If you did enter that 4-hour trade I posted last night, we're looking for an 8-to-1. You're looking for a move up to 196.16, probably even $2. All right, so we're looking for a big move up. Step out here to the weekly chart, and you're looking for an impulse up. Come take out these highs, and you have the same exact pattern on pound ZAR, right? Let's look at pound ZAR. Same exact pattern. Weekly chart. Last week we had a signal. That's why we wanted buys, and you're coming to break this high. You have the same setup in pound alls, right? Same setup in pound alls. We're looking to go. You're looking for 700 pips in pound alls. Let's look at dollar ZAR because we had two trades on dollar ZAR so far that were posted. 8-hour chart last week, we posted this signal, said you wanted it. It was our first oversold higher low. And then we had a 4-hour buy setup down here, and it was the same thing. See our daily pivots? This is where our daily pivots were yesterday, right? So, and we were right in there, coming in the previous structure, bouncing off our 89, and this was our initial risk. Our initial risk went down to this previous low down here, but now we take all that off the table, right? So the trade's running risk free, and we step out here to the weekly chart. We're looking for a big impulse up to come up to the 100, right? So you're looking for a move up to here. And basically same thing. You're looking for like a 10 to 1. Let it run. You're trending on the weekly chart. You're above the 8 and go. You're looking to buy pullbacks in dollar ZAR. All right. And so we covered CAD, we covered Aussie. Not much to do in the Euro pairs tomorrow with the rate decision. And that's pretty much where we're at, right? Pound, Swiss, and stuff like that. We were coming into the 100, right? Running flat, and you're getting a reaction. Let me step out to the daily chart, right? Because you could be completing some of these running flats, and we could be getting ready to go. Now, what I would like to see on the daily chart is maybe a double bottom down here with some divergence. And we could buy that divergence down here, but for it, we don't have a buy setup yet, right? 4-hour chart is still bearish. You don't want to sell this because you're running into the 100 and the completion of your potential running flat, and you're running into the daily 89 and 200 stack. So we're waiting for buy setups, right? It's going to take a minute for a buy setup to set up on the 4-hour chart. So, but I am kind of looking for, like, if I get a daily divergence trade down here, I will be taking that. Pound Swiss, all right? NZD CAD, just a heads up. Let me put quarterly pivots on. If you are in NZD CAD, heads up, because you're running into your quarterly pivot here. Let me step out to the weekly chart. And you're completing this flat right here. So you're kind of completing a potential flat and running into your quarterly R2 up here. So I wouldn't be surprised to see some profit taken or some kind of reaction up here. It does have the potential to keep running though and come take out these highs, but any reaction we get here, I think, is a nice buying opportunity to come take out these highs over here. Just making this larger flat pattern. So hopefully this pivot gives us a nice push down, and it gives us a nice like 4-hour 200 double bottom or something would be nice, you know what I mean? So we'll see what happens. CAD, right? You're coming up to these quarterly R2s, and that's like with like silver and stuff. If we look at silver, you're above your quarterly R2. You're bouncing off your 200. If we look at the daily chart, you're coming into oversold, bouncing off the 34. Technically, is this a buy setup? Yeah, but I don't like buying things that are past my quarterly R2. That's just personal preference, and I like buying and selling stuff that's in between that range, and I got plenty of room to run to my quarterly R2 or quarterly S2. So, but that's just me personally. All right, so back to Forex, and again, we just don't have much else. So that's pretty much that. I covered the structures on Pound Oz is running good. Dollar ZAR is running good. The Aussie trade I took. I told you I'm looking for that running flat where I'm stopped out. I'm looking for that running flat to the downside, or I'm getting stopped out. And that's pretty much that. We want CAD yen to go break them highs. We're looking for them running flats in these yen pairs, them B waves, and that's that, right? Pay attention to that structure in CAD. CAD's a good buy now in the 1 hour chart. You got daily pivot support on USD CAD, but if we start coming through that structure and then making a 1 hour correction, dump it. All right, that's all I got for today. If you do me a favor, if you like what I'm doing, hit the thumbs up and have a good one. I'll see you.